Hi, welcome back. It's Sam Waterfall again, and in this second part of the two videos, I'm now going to give you a quick masterclass on how to use LinkedIn, which is really the world's leading business social network. Now, in this page, what I've done is I've just highlighted a few elements of my personal profile so that I can show you what's important to look after. At the top here, the first thing to look out for is your vanity URL. Make sure you get the one with your name, or at least as close to it as possible. And these are going quickly, so really take action fast on that one. Make sure you use a photo that's right. More on that in just a moment. Use your headline effectively. I'm going to show you how to do that too. And then when it comes to talking about your roles, your current role and your previous roles, make sure you put the right keywords in there. So expand on these and express very carefully and very clearly exactly what you've done. Getting the right keywords in will mean you show up better in the search ranking on LinkedIn. Then make sure you've got the right recommendations, more on that shortly, and also any websites that you have or your Twitter feed, add those into your account. Now, what do you need to look out for on your profile as well? Well, on your home page, what you can actually do is you can link in your Twitter. So whenever you update your status profile on LinkedIn, you can also tweet that out to service your network. And if you remember from the previous video, servicing your network was a critical element. It's one of the job search secrets. And then, of course, on your profile here, what you can also see as well is who's been looking at your profile. You can click on that and find out who has clicked on your profile and how many times you've showed up in the search results recently. Now, there's some good news, because we can learn how to write a winning profile from the journalist's tricks of the trade. What do I mean by that? Well, if we just take a random newspaper, here's an interesting one I found. Now, what we actually find with the journalists is that they try to grab us with the headline. And in fact, far more people read the headline, of course, than they do the last bit of the article. So what's most important is your headline. So make sure your headline really grabs people and it's got all the content in there that you should have. Don't be boring with your headline. Next up comes the sub-headline, and that's what drags us into the article in the newspaper. And then, of course, last in terms of importance comes the actual content of the article itself. So make sure you are front-loading your good information into the front part, because not everybody will read all the way down, just like we don't always read all of a newspaper article. We think we get the idea from the headline. Now, the first impression is very, very important. So adding a profile either to your CV or to your online profile itself is absolutely vital. So make sure you've got that summary at the beginning of your profile. Now, if you want tips on how to do that, you can actually watch a free video called the 7 Essential CV Upgrades, which you can watch at interviewdoctor.com. This is an example of a headline. Now, you could just put that you're a marketing assistant, which can be accurate, but wouldn't it be better if you'd actually put that you were a marketing assistant, that you were a consumer knowledge specialist, you were a blogger, and maybe that you were a marathon runner as well? Obviously, you need to fill this in for yourself, but you can see how by expanding a little bit on just the basics, your profile can become much more interesting, and your headline, like the headline in the newspaper, can start to grab attention versus your competition. When it comes to your photo, don't just go for interesting shots from your history, or don't just go for a night out on the town. The one to pick is a smart picture, not necessarily too businesslike, but certainly smart and professional. But don't pick this one, don't pick this one. This one seems to be okay. Now, here are 14 ways to use LinkedIn to find your next job. Now, this is actually taken from an article on the blog at interviewdoctor.com/blog. The first thing is actually get the word out. So use LinkedIn to spread the word that you're looking for your next job. Secondly, you can join relevant groups and communicate with people through those groups. The third idea is to use LinkedIn to support your offline search. And that means you can actually look at the people you're going to be meeting, find out about their profile, and learn the background about them before you go and meet them. Fourthly, you can research from whom else's profile has been viewed, and that's very important as well. So look at who else has viewed profiles and find out the history, which companies are interesting to those people as well. The fifth idea is about linking to recruiters and linking to recruiter groups. If you start to liaise with them, then they'll start to know about you and they can help to find you your next role. Getting recommendations is very important. More on that in just a minute. The seventh idea is about researching backgrounds. So if you're going to get interviewed and you know who's going to be interviewing you, make sure you know about the person. That way it will help you with your research and your interview preparation. The eighth idea is to find the hiring manager. In some companies, they'll be small enough for you to know exactly who you'll be meeting with. So make sure you found out about them as well. The ninth idea is to check if a company is actually hiring at the moment. Many companies will have a LinkedIn profile page for the company. So find out whether they're actually hiring. You might find out details of a specific role you can apply to. Now for the rest of these, go to the blog at interviewdoctor.com/blog and you'll find there's a lot more detail to explain exactly how to use these ideas. When it comes to joining groups on LinkedIn, you have to select them, you have to join them, then you have to interact in them. And that's a little bit like the idea of servicing your network that we've already talked about. Ask questions, offer answers, and make sure you're interacting so you can be seen. When it comes to recommendations, this is often totally misunderstood and totally undervalued. You won't rank in search terms for competitive terms without good recommendations. So make it easy for someone to recommend you. And of course, never spam them. And if you call the office, we've got a few tips on how to get good recommendations and how to make sure they're really saying what you want to be having said about you. Now, the next thing, of course, is that if you can actually make your profile more interesting, then it's likely to stand out better. And it's even possible to add video to your profile these days. The steps to do that are to think of a clear story and create a professional video to support your story in the first place. And then all you have to do is create a slideshare.net account and add that app to your LinkedIn profile. Then you can upload the video to YouTube, you can upload a presentation to your SlideShare account, and then you can insert your YouTube link on the first slide of your presentation. And once you've done that, you can then publish the SlideShare presentation on your profile. If you need more information, you can just Google adding video to LinkedIn, but it will talk you through exactly this process. It's a very good way of standing out. Two changes that you can actually use to get ranked and get found. First off is put the right keywords into your job title, your job descriptions, your summary, and your interests. These will help you get ranked. And also you can use recommendations. If you've got more than 5, it will help. But if you've got more than 10 or more than 15, the algorithm gives you even greater value and it will push you further up the ranking so you can get found for the keywords you've selected. Finally, a little tip for you here. Google Alerts is a really neat idea. You can go to Google Alerts and on that system you can put in any words you want, for example your name, and Google will alert you anytime your name is used on the internet. Isn't that a good idea? So you can find out what's being said about you. When it comes down to it, using social media is all about this. It's about keeping track of what's happening about your name on the internet. So Google Alerts and keeping track of your social media is so important. Now if you have questions about any of these ideas, please call Pam in our office on 08000 699 331, or you can email us on info@interviewdoctor.com. We'll be happy to answer your questions. You see, all of this stuff, it actually really works. So these are a couple of testimonials that were given to us recently, and we're making a big difference through Interview Doctor and the work that we're doing in terms of people's careers. People like you who are out there looking for your next job. Now you see, I really want you to be my next success story. And how can we help with that? Well, CV phone coaching is one of the services that we provide. We spend about an hour on the phone, you with one of our experts, and what we do is, together with the expert, you'll investigate your objectives, you'll explore your current CV, and you'll create a list of personalized CV upgrades to create your own high-impact CV. And your coach will email you a list of personalized recommendations and extra tips on exactly how to make the changes. Now normally, this costs £77 plus VAT, but if you buy now as a Newcastle University Business School student, then this is actually for you only £37 plus the VAT. And another service that is very, very popular is interview phone coaching. And here we have two options. The first one is just a single session, 60 minutes with one of our experts, and we plan for your interview. And the second option is a two-session version of this. And what we do is we really get you ready across two sessions to land the job. The difference here is that we spend the first session planning exactly how to structure your answers. We give you personalized recommendations and an answer planning guide. There's also actions and practice time for you. And in the second session, after you've had some time to practice, you actually get a mock interview with one of our experts, and they'll give you expert feedback by phone on exactly how to improve ahead of your interview. So you can see how useful that can be. Now, the first one is normally £77 plus VAT, but if you buy now, it's only £37 plus VAT. You can click the button on this page to go ahead and buy. And for option 2, what we actually have there is another special deal for you. Now this is now only £177 plus VAT. So, as a general special offer for anybody from Newcastle University Business School, whether you want free CV writing videos, you can actually find those online on the internet. Just go to interviewdoctor.com. You can watch the 2 videos which are all about the 7 essential CV upgrades. You can get the CV coaching. You can get the high impact CV writing at a 20% discount. You can actually have help with writing your LinkedIn profile and making sure that's really going to rank highly for you on your chosen keywords. And you can also get help with interview preparation coaching. So the cheapest price for that is as low as £37 now. Any questions you've got, email us at info@interviewdoctor.com. So thank you, and of course let's get social. You can connect with us or connect with me using these social media platforms. Now it's been a pleasure sharing with you some of these tried and tested and proven principles. I'm sure it'll be a pleasure to speak with you in person and help you with your career and the next steps in that. So from me, Sam Waterfall, and all of the team here at Interview Doctor, thank you very much, and I wish you every future success.